Hello, everyone, and welcome back to one of these interview episodes of the SWW show. I'm Mike, and today with me a special guest to talk about a game that actually really captivated me, kind of seeing some of the screens on there. To get us started, do you mind introducing yourself and the game we're here to talk about?
Yeah, hello everyone, and hello Mike. My name is Pablo Coma, and I'm a game developer from Belgium, and I'm the founder of the company called Rablo Games. And we are today, talking about the day we will release next month, so in September 24, which is Necro Story.
Yeah, so
And
I was gonna say, if you don't mind, what is Necro Story for people who, let's be honest, a lot of people are too lazy to Google, pull up a Steam page. What is Necro Story?
So Necro Story is it's an RPG in which you play as a necromancer. So the twist is that you only play one of the roles that you may play in other RPGs. Here it's the necromancer, so you will have to summon skeletons, to capture the souls of your enemies, to take them into your team. So there is a monster collection / capture going on in the game, and it's also a comedy game. So you have to try to save the world, to save humanity from a big disaster that happened. And you'll discover more by playing the game. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff you will do in the game.
So where did this come from? Obviously, as you said, RPGs a lot of times can have a ton of character arcs with character types. Necromancer, I think, is a decently common as your right type, especially like if something like Dungeons Dragons or those type of places. Was there something in the Necromancer that like excited you, or like was there something you were playing D&D? Like where did this idea of like really focusing on this one character come from?
Actually, this is my second game. My first game was Healer's Quest, in which you played only as the healer. So the thing is, I wanted to iterate, to say so, on my previous idea of playing just the healer in an RPG. And this time I went for another class of character, and the Necromancer seems like a ton of fun because you can do plenty of things. There are plenty of ideas I had for what the necromancer can do. He can summon stuff. He can transform into a demon. He can summon poisons, cast spells, and steal the life of his enemies. So we have plenty of School of Magics. But yeah, the base concept is an iteration on my previous game, and the necromancer is because I think they are so much fun to play with in Diablo games, for example, but also in other games.
Necromancer is very interesting. So I would argue, and I think it seems like you probably agree, it's one of the more versatile in what it can do classes in these types of RPGs. Because like when you use something like an archer, you're like, oh, it's AOE or it's archer, maybe they're a dag. Like you start like a lot of characters kind of get these like things they're stuck with. But Necromancer have this actually, especially because like they can summon things. It kind of be like, oh, I now have a way bigger pool to play with. What was kind of your limiting or like ideas to make it so this isn't an all powerful like I'm the ultimate necromancer type thing? So obviously it's an RPG, so obviously you grow stuff over time, but kind of what was kind of your idea going into this, kind of to like make this a class that is both really fun to play, but like not one that you go, why are you not just winning everything in the world?
Yeah, the thing is that I created 5 School of Magic actually, corresponding to the different gameplay style that you can play with. So summoning stuff, summoning zombies, skeletons, and this kind of stuff is, of course, one of the main thing, the go-to thing for the necromancer. I think if I ask someone in the street what does a necromancer, the first thing someone will reply is to summon skeletons and summon undead creatures. So of course that's a main part of the game. But yeah, I also would like to wanted to add more different gameplay mechanics. So if you want, you can play the necromancer without summoning a single skeleton in the whole game. You can just play on the other type of gameplay. But as you said, we have really large panel of kind of spells and activities you can do as a necromancer, and that's really what I wanted to achieve with the game and give this whole spectrum of possibilities with the character, especially as we have different skill trees. Actually, we have one skill tree for each spell, and we have 20 spells in the game. So that's a lot of customization going on that I wanted to give the player. So so it's all that I think it's so great with the Necromancer, and why I wanted to make a game with that. I don't know if I answered your questions.
No, you totally did. We're kind of talking about obviously this idea of a necromancer, 'cause I think it's always a fun kind of play with. But also we're talking about Necro Story, your game specifically. Can we kind of talk about kind of what is that loop that players can kind of expect, right? So I'm necromancer, I'm walking through the world. Like, what does this kind of look like? Do I just kind of run into random spawns of enemies? Do I kind of know when I'm going to combat? Like, what kind of is this loop look like for players?
Mm-hmm. So on the structural standpoint, so we have dungeons, which you wander, and then you stumble on encounters. So those encounters will launch battles, and in those battles, you will gain experience by winning the battles, but also the big thing is that you can capture the souls of your enemies. So every time you will kill a creature, its soul will try to fly off the screen, and you have to react. You have to try to catch it either with the mouse if you're playing on PC, or by aiming with the left stick if you play on consoles. And capturing those souls is a key point of the game. It's really, really important to do so, because by capturing a certain amount of souls, you are then able to capture the next monster that you encounter. And by capturing the monster, you can later on put it in your team. And like this, you can capture all the monsters you encounter in the game. So as I said earlier, it's a bit of a creature collection stuff in the game. So I would say the loop is you wander in the world or in the dungeons, you stumble into battles, then you capture the souls and you gain XP, which allows you to become more powerful in the next combat by having more monsters in your team and becoming more powerful because you upgraded your spells with the XP you gained.
No, that sounds great. It sounds like I like to think it's almost like the classic RPG loop. I don't know how better to describe that. It's always fun because it's always like when you see this classic kind of loops and you get a fun twist kind of on them. I know we kind of talked about kind of your necromancer. Do you want to talk about what is kind of the world you're kind of in a bit more? Kind of like what does this kind of look like? Where are we? Kind of replaying this game.
Yeah. So I would say the big thing, it's not a spoiler because it's in the first second of the game, but when you start the game, you are the last human alive in the world, literally, and you are in lethargy. So you are, let's say, sleeping, and you have a female ghost that comes next to you, and it puts the soul, which is flying above your body, inside your body, and you awake at this moment. And you learn that it's this ghost that just wakes you up, who puts you in lethargy 4 years ago. We don't know exactly what happened. We will learn this in the course of the game. And you have, basically it's the mystery of the game. You have to discover what happened and how you can fix the situation. So to fix this, you will have to try to find a portal which will lead you to the other world, so to the underworld actually. And once there, I won't spoil anything, but you still have some discoveries to make, your searchings to do to find out what happened and how you can fix the situation, because hopefully you can fix it.
No, that sounds great. A good old classic kind of end of the world. So we've kind of talked about kind of obviously you can take control of these creatures. You can do that because that's one of the big things of necromancers. What are these enemies you're facing? Right. So you're the last human. What exists in this world? What are we dealing with? What are we scared of?
Yeah, the thing is, we will learn that in the game, but the planet we are living on had to defend herself against different things, and the planet gave life to natural elements. So as weird as it sounds, you can add some enemy fruits, some cats, let's say, weird cats that you can add, some mushrooms, some peers, actually, peers enemies with eyes and a sword in their game doing, the peers are doing karate actually, but plenty of fun enemies. And despite the game talking about necromancy and having quite a dark setup, as I said earlier, it's a comedy game. So the tone is very light, and also it's kind of colorful. So I wanted to have a large spectrum of enemies, So some of them are just things that we pure creations, I would say, and others are like rocks, like those rock Pokemon. I don't know the word in English because they have a different name in French, but
Are you talking about
it's.
like the ones that like evolved from like the first gen of Pokemon? Or are you talking about like Onyx, which is like the snake looking one?
I think it's that one. Yeah, it's Rakayu in French, but I don't know the word in English.
I
Sorry.
don't. I'm sorry. I'm
But
sorry. I do not know the French name of Pokemon. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you mean Onyx. You mean like the one that looks like a snake, but it's a bunch of like balls kind of on top of each other, like a bunch of boulders.
no, it's another one. But yeah, you get the kind of things that the monster will look like. It's a bit like Pokemon's actually.
Yeah, no, I just because that's that is one of the things that caught me. So one of the things that interests me though is you said it's a lot of like natural, like elementy, like the things that you
Uh-huh.
see kind of around as you come alive. What where did you come up with that slash? What was kind of one of the what were the first ones that kind of in your head? Was it like, oh, obviously it'll be leaves or trees, or kind of where did kind of you go, ah, this is what's coming alive based once that idea kind of really solidified?
Um, First, I was wondering what kind of things can we find in a forest or in a castle, this kind of stuff. And I tried to find enemies that could correspond to those biomes while keeping in head that that's part of the scenario. The thing you just say that the planet is defending itself. So yeah, I just started from this idea and tried to find enemies that could correspond to the different biomes and would make sense if they were in those biomes. There is really not much else to say about this because I don't remember. Actually, it's been 6 years that I'm working on this game, and I'm sorry, I don't really remember how I came up to this idea
Oh no,
because
no,
it's been so long.
So I'm actually so 6 years. That's a long, obviously a long time to work
Yeah,
on
yeah.
one project. Well, how has this game changed in that time? Like, was it something else when you started? Was it always kind of this idea of the endpoint you're getting to? Kind of, what does that journey look like?
It's evolved a lot because yeah, when I started it, I had just finished my previous game, which I did alone. So I started this game also planning to do it alone. But 6 months after starting this project, I was hired in a big game studio here in Belgium, and so I had much less time to work on this. And I started to work with a friend of mine, one of my colleagues actually at the big studio. And so we rebooted the project because I was working another game engine called Construct 3. And we rebooted it in Unity with the help of my programmer. So on the technical standpoint, it evolved a lot. And also on a more scenaristical and artistic standpoint. On the scenario side, actually, I don't wait for having the whole game completely set up in my head before starting a game. I like having a setup clearly defined, but a lot of things in between inside the game. I come up with them when I'm working on it. And this has also been the case in this project. One thing that changed a lot is the animation, because in Construct I was way more limited on the animation standpoint that I was in Unity. So this has been a really huge improvement for me to pass to Unity. The animations are really easier to do, and I think the result is also much better.
I was gonna say I'm not as familiar with Construct 3, but I definitely messed with Construct 2 a bit,
Mhm.
and Construct definitely is a. I would argue there's definitely a lot of restrictions within. I think it's fair to say within Construct as a framework, so that is a very valid jump. Did that really kind of when you guys did that porting from Construct 3 to Unity? Did that change the scope or size of the game fundamentally at all, or is it just more of a hey, we now maybe have less restrictions, maybe more portability that we didn't have before?
No, it didn't change the scope. The scope stayed the same, even though it wasn't clearly defined at the moment we, we, um, we rebooted the project in Unity. But yeah, we try to improve the quality of what we were doing. That's mostly it. Because, yeah, as I said, the animations are much more easy and powerful to work with. Or the particle systems are also much more powerful and precise, and it's really possible to do a lot of things with particles in Unity, while it's a bit more a bit less developed in Construct.
I think this is
So
I think this is a non-controversial opinion.
yeah,
Construct I think very much
maybe.
has a place. I think there's very cool stuff in it, but I think this is a very like common like yeah. There are certain things that like Unity or Unreal or Godot have that like these are the tools that were really cool for certain platforms or certain ideas. Kind of
Mhm.
you'd sometimes get tighter restrictions on these things or what they can look like or do. At least
Yeah, yeah, maybe I didn't check everything possible in Construct actually, because there is also a lot of things possible in Construct. But for me, from my experience in Unity, I think there is more to it. Also, I didn't say it, but Healer's Quest, my first game, was done in Construct 2. So, and it was 4 years of development. So I still have quite some knowledge of Construct actually.
Perfect. Yeah, no, but as we are talking, actually, so Necro Story, obviously, you could wishlist it currently on Steam. It comes out in September. There is a demo available.
Yeah, the demo is available. Right now, it's been available for 1 month or 2 already. So feel free to try it. It's free, of course. We changed already a few things in the final game compared to the demo. So there will be a few differences with the final game, but I think you get a very good grasp of the game by playing the demo.
You actually answered one question. I was going to say if it actually changed anything. So with the demo then being out, like obviously you just said you changed a few things based on feedback.
Mhm.
Were you kind of
Yes.
expecting that going in? Was this more of a like, hey, I think we're done. Let's kind of get a feedback out there. What was kind of your thought process going into this demo, and then what was your thought process kind of as the feedback of this demo started happening?
Yeah. So the feedback we received on demo is mainly about the soul capture system, which could become a bit overwhelming at some points, because in the demo that is still now, at least now, while we are talking on Steam, you have to grab the souls with the right button by holding the right button on a soul to try to catch it before it flies off, and then grab it and drop it on the necromancer, on your character. And when there are multiple souls on the screen, it was really too much movement with the mouse, which wasn't really appreciated by some players. So we decided to simplify it. Now you just have to right click on the soul, and it catches the soul automatically. And I think it's better like this. It's less of a lot of kilometers with the mouse, if you see what I mean. And it's I think it's better in the new version, and we changed that following the feedback from the players on the demo.
But it sounds like otherwise the demo seems like it was at least decently or structurally well received. It seems like based on you going like, okay, that's kind of the big stuff we changed. So has the demo? I'm curious because obviously Steam right now, we've been hearing a lot of talks of developers over the last, especially few years, of becoming more and more cluttered and harder to stand out. I'm not asking for your actual metrics, but I'm just curious. Did the demo and the views you're getting from that kind of match what you guys' expectations were going into it, or are you guys kind of seeing the same things a lot of people on the platform are currently seeing?
I have to be honest, no, it didn't really matched our expectation. Even during the Steam Next Fest, it was on the low side. As you may know, people suggest we have 7,000 wishlists before the game releases, and right now we are at half of that. So we still have a long way to do, and that's also why why it's really appreciable that you invite me to this kind of podcast to share the word about the game. So definitely, I agree with what people are saying. It's really hard to get known and discovered on Steam. I think it's the biggest challenge. It's harder to get discovered on Steam than to make the game, to be honest. It takes less time, but it's really, really hard.
And I want to clarify too, based on at least what I can see, and correct me if I'm wrong. At least on your website, it's talking about how you guys are releasing on Steam, but you're also releasing on other platforms too, correct?
I have few experiences with the other platforms. For Necro Story, we are also aiming on the consoles. all the consoles actually, so the Switch, PS5, and Xbox Series. Also, the goal of going to consoles is because I think they are less crowded. Even though a lot of people tell me, oh, it sells better on Steam, it sells better on Steam. At least my programmer is able to make the console versions. So I wanted to see it for myself and see if really consoles doesn't sell well. So I can't tell yet, but what I can say is that on PC, the other stores than Steam are already selling a lot less than Steam. So even if they are less crowded, I'm afraid the revenue from them could be really low. But yeah, still we will publish also on the smallest store like Epic Game Store. It's not that small actually, but still it's still way less than Steam and other stores, even smaller ones.
I know, like I love like the as you probably with I love the concept of something like itch.io, but like fundamentally speaking, like I would love to actually know on a metric backend of like how many games actually sold to a level where like it made true like it made sense of like it doesn't cost anything to put it up there, but like true financial sense of you just released on something like itch because yeah, the scale of some of these stores are just so much smaller than something like Steam where like again, a low chance, but you have Steam at your best chance, you could literally be in front of millions of eyeballs at any given second. So like it's this really interesting like tug and pull we're all fighting kind of fighting right now. So
I'm sorry, I think I didn't get exactly the question. Could you
oh yeah no
please repeat?
with all that kind of in mind then with that so obviously as we said then you are releasing on all or at least releasing on Steam and you're kind of looking at least these console platforms where kind of when this game comes out then as we said in September at some point or the next month what can people kind of expect from a like content point of view of like how long should this take or how long kind of I mean what was you going through kind of what can that person kind of expect if they go sit down buy the game and try to go play it.
Yeah, so the final game will feature the main campaign of about 10 hours to complete. So that's a normal play speed, I would say. But if you want to be completionist, it could take 20 hours. Also, there is a replayability in the game. I won't spoil it because that would be a big spoil. But yeah, there is some replayability, some narrative replayability. Think a bit like Undertale inside it. So it will make sense to finish it 2 times, which also improves the replay value. And yeah, for the content, we have quite a lot of enemies, more than 50, which is not, it's less than Pokemon, obviously, but we are just 2 people making the game. So obviously we have to keep the scope under check. But yeah, that's about it.
Oh, that sounds perfect. So again, the game is Necro Story. It's 2 words.
Oh,
You are part of Roblo Games. You can go wishlist this on Steam right now. You can go download the demo. Do we know, and I know this is rough, and maybe you're not too far out and you don't know the answer yet. Do you know kind of what you're expecting this to look like from a price point of view?
yeah, we are aiming for €15, so $14.99 US dollars on all the platforms.
Perfect. I would like to now give you the floor for anything that you feel we have missed to talk about game, anything you think stands out, or if you just want to shout people to go where to send them for all of your respective platforms.
Oh, thank you. So to find the game, I think the best solution is to play on Steam. It works very well on a gamepad also, but I would say the mouse and keyboard is the main way to play the game. So Steam seems to be the way to go. Also, feel free to wishlist it because it helps a lot discoverability. And if you happen to purchase it, leaving a review also helps a lot. All the developers, not just for Necro Story, but all the game you play and you like and you want to help the developers, just leaving a review it's a huge help. And yep, that's about it. And
That sounds absolutely great. Final question for you, because I gotta ask since it is gamepad supported. Do you plan or do you kind of have it going through a process of trying to make it like Steam Deck compatible by any chance?
Yeah, actually, we also on Switch, for example, we have a touch screen feature, which kind of goes well with the game, and we will have the same for the Steam Deck. So Steam Deck, you can choose to play with the gamepad or touch, and yes, it will be completely compatible with Steam Deck on release.
Perfect. Again, I want to say thank you for talking to me today, of taking time to talk about Necro Story, and best of luck as you guys really get towards this tail end of development these final few weeks. I always like to tell every developers on here, take time, go get some rest. Always
Yeah,
walk away from the computer, but like obviously, best of luck as you're kind of really getting to this end.
thank you so much, and thank you, Mike, for inviting me. Thank you for having me, and for the opportunity to talk about my work. It's greatly appreciated, and also wishing you the best with the podcast.
Well, thank you again.